Hi, I'm Chris McMahon. I'm reading through Chapter 1 of my science fiction novel, The Torcedida version, page 8. That there had been no more news from Earth was even more worrying. The tight beam from Earth had gone out of alignment at Epsilon Eridani shortly before their diversion to Torcedi. The Earth orbital station should have been able to correct the transmission based on the starburst return broadcast, but there was still nothing. Now they were facing their first major challenge, an unknown and deadly threat. He and Jansen would have to work together with the whole crew to deal with the crisis. At least he could rely on Jansen. The imposing commander respected Carrick's expertise. They had worked hand in glove since the beginning of the project, when Starburst was nothing more than a dream. Jansen ironing out any snags in the finances and delivery of resources, Carrick leading the design team and unravelling the technical problems as they arose. Both of them shared a vision and drive for space exploration that had overcome all obstacles to get them here. Their falling out over the diversion to Torcedi marked their only disagreement of the voyage. At the end of the habitat section, the moulded panels that lined the walls were in poor condition. Large sections were discoloured, having disintegrated into a bone-white powder that dusted the floor. 3 panels had failed to darkness, standing like rotten teeth against the creamy brightness of their neighbours. The results of the exterior scan showed the rear skin of the ship had taken damage, yet to see it like this, inside the ship, was deeply disturbing. Still, it was not possible to halt the attrition of decades. Even in a vacuum-sealed storage locker, the blue officer's stripes down the arms and legs of his uniform had faded almost to the blue-grey colour of the jacket and pants. Only the sub-commander's bar still gleamed silver above the Explore Corp logo on the left side of his jacket. Carrick thumbed the hatch release and entered the humid atmosphere of the biodome, blinking in the intense light. The specially designed glow panels on the ceiling flooded the space with daylight ambience. He took a deep breath, imbibing the organic richness of the air like a tonic. A gardener robot bustled past, intent on some duty. The biodome took up the whole rear section of the outer level of the habitat. There were few true windows on Starburst because of the structural problems and shielding issues. Instead, the rear wall of the biodome was lined with screens that could display the exterior starscape, giving a pleasant illusion. They remained dark now. He set off on a circuit of the dome, studying the vegetation as he went. It was uplifting to be here, within the walls obscured by the plant growth, the illusion of an earth-bound garden only ruined by the glow panels above his head. He was amazed at the growth, but then it had been more than 3 years since his last shift. Not all the signs were good. Here and there amongst the rows, plants had died. He soon circled the whole floor to arrive back where he started. Then he walked to the rear of the dome where the control stations were located. He came across a robot, methodically cutting and removing a dead tree. Carrick knelt down and gathered a handful of soil. It looked rich and dark, yet he wondered how many of the carefully selected bacterial cultures it had been seeded with remained alive. Avelle, who was biosystems officer, would have her work cut out for her. He let the earth fall through his fingers.